For my sastang dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of our most worshipful Srila Gurudev. Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Shishimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Srila Guru Maharaj, to Arupanuga Guru Varga and all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So by order of Vaishnava, then I'm giving tonight's class, unfortunately for you. So, first no, just today. That's why I said, unfortunately for you, Prabhuji not giving class today. But he requested me to give class. So, I was tempted to give class on this book. This book just came today. But Prabhuji said, speak something about Ratha yatra, because now Ratha yatra coming, so we'll speak about Ratha yatra. But yeah, I just want to tell the good news. Today, this Chaitanya Charitamrita has come. English one, the English. This has the commentary of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, commentary of Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. It has commentary of, they collected some commentaries by Srila Gurudev and Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj from the Patrikas, from old Patrikas. And so then they put them all here, making this very nice, but this is the first volume. This is, for now, the Adi Lila chapter 1 to 7. And just reading, just even the preface, the preface written by Prabhupada, already like so nice, Yeah. Of course, like by our Guru Varga, always very nice. So maybe we reserve for another time reading this one. But we can speak now. Prabhuji has ordered speak something about Ratha yatra. We've all, I think everyone has experienced Ratha yatra festival or have heard. Some have been to Puri also. And like now everywhere, Ratha yatra always, like there's always Ratha yatra. So Ratha yatra now not just confined in Jagannath Puri, but now all over the world. And that's because of the followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this festival of Ratha yatra, very special, especially for followers of Mahaprabhu. So it's very good to understand also the deep meaning of this festival. Because there's so many ways to see this festival. But especially for followers of Mahaprabhu, they can actually explain like, oh, how so nice this festival. Like this. And it goes deep to the, like very deep tattwas about Krishna, about Radharani, and also about Mahaprabhu. So something that like not everyone really like knows deeply, Like example, who is Lord Jagannath? Like that. So sometimes we hear devotees, they even fighting or arguing. Some will say like Jagannath is Dwarkadish, And then some will say no, Jagannath is Brajendra Nandan Krishna. Mahaprabhu himself, he said, Sakshat Brajendra Nandan. Mahaprabhu telling, no? But who he really is. So, and this is one thing we have to appreciate, because Jagannath is Bhagavan. He can be anyone. For followers of Ram, Jagannath can be Ramachandra. For followers of Narayan, Jagannath can be Narayan. No? For even Buddhists also, no? They see like Jagannath as Buddha. The Buddhists, they took over Jagannath temple for some time also. And some followers of Shiva, they see also Jagannath as Shiva, like this. But really, like for example, the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mahamantra, for us, we know this is not different from Krishna himself. But then, who is that name Krishna referring to? For some, they can even consider that Krishna is a manifestation of Vishnu, of Narayan. for followers of Narayan, like this. And for them, that is not wrong. Some, they would say, oh, Ram there, referring to Ramachandra. Okay. Okay, for them, it's not wrong. But there's really like a higher conception, like the real, like the highest conception, understanding. And ultimately, as Gaudiyas, we know, like when we say Ram, that Ram there is not Ramachandra. It's not even Balaram. Although it is not wrong to consider, for some who are followers even of Braj mood, but they're in Sakyaras, and then they're chanting Mahamantra, and they can be thinking of that Ram as Balaram. So we're not saying that, hey, that's wrong. You don't think of him as Balaram. You cannot say like that to him. But for us, especially followers of Mahaprabhu, who are followers of Rupa Goswami, then we know that that Ram is not Balaram, is not Ramachandra. Who is that? Oh? Radharaman, like this. So now I'm mentioning this because according to one's adhikar, then they can see a certain form or the name of Bhagavan in a certain way. And really, Bhagavan, he reciprocates with everyone. So accordingly, you cannot say to them that is wrong. No. But there is really some higher conception. And so especially Gaudiyas, who are followers of Mahaprabhu, they know what is really like very deep tattva and high. So I'm just telling that, for example, in this Ratha festival, there's so many ways people can see this festival. They can see it like just the regular, like activities of deities sometimes going out, and having darshan, giving darshan to the people, being merciful to the people. Yeah, like that. So that they can see it like that, and that is not wrong. But more than that, Mahaprabhu has revealed some secret things, and it's like an open secret. And mostly only followers of Mahaprabhu and those who knows Chaitanya Charitamrita, then they can understand or the deep meanings. So it goes deep first to understanding who is Jagannath, who is Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gurudev mercifully, one time he gave in one class, he was saying, like for some people who say that Jagannath is Dwarkadish, he said like, Dwarkadish, in the eternal Dwarka, there's Dwarkadish, eternal Dwarka, right? There, Dwarkadish, who is the consort? Who's the consort of Dwarkadish? Rukmini, Satyabhama, many, like 16,108 like queens, like this. Like say in Ayodhya, there's Ram, no? Who is the consort of Ram? Sita. Can Ram be in separation of Radharani? No. Ram will never be in separation of Radharani. His consort is Sita. He can be in separation of Sita, like this. Dwarkadish also, the same way, he cannot be in separation of Radharani. He can be in separation maybe of Rukmini or Satyabhama and others, but if there's such a lila, but not for Radharani. So, but here in Naimitic lila, when you say Naimitic, meaning a special lila that is connected to material pastimes, like for example, Krishna's birth, that's a Naimitic lila. Although it's eternal because he's always born in one universe to the other. He's very merciful, going one universe to the other, and he is taking birth there. So, and really it happens. The Krishna in Gokul, he was really born. There's all this like evidence of Jiva Goswami, Brijbasi telling, we have seen him. We have seen how like the umbilical cord was cut like that. So. But in Dwarka, in Mathura, we know he appeared there. Okay, so, but we know in eternal Golok, Vrindavan, Krishna never born, right? or even Baladev, never born. They're there eternally as like youth, Yeah. And and so there's some speciality in naimitic leelas. Those leelas that cannot happen in the eternal world, and it can happen and manifest physically in the material world. Or it's never in the material world. It's that part of the spiritual world that manifests, like apparently, in the material world. You understand? So there's all this lila, Krishna being born, like that. So there's some speciality of the material world also, like because this is the place where naimitic leelas happen, which cannot happen in the eternal or in the aprakat dham. Although this is our inconceivable, our mind may not understand it, but really this is really part of the spiritual world also. That this naimitic lila is really part of the spiritual world. But just to put it within the understanding of material mind, then we say, like, look, it happens in the material world. Krishna killing demons. There's no demons in the eternal world. So this killing demons, that can only happen in the material world, like this. And that's a naimitic lila, like this. So when Krishna comes here, one of the naimitic lila is that, he left Vrindavan. But we know already, Krishna never even take a step outside of Vrindavan. He's always in Vrindavan. And that is because in the eternal world, he never leaves Vrindavan. And here in material lila, or in the naimitic lila, then you can see that physically Akrura came and took him to Mathura, like this, as if he left Vrindavan. But then, of course, there's all this explanation that really he did not leave also. Like when he reached Batrol, then that Mathurish Krishna continued. The Brajendra Krishna stayed behind. But now he is not seen, like this. Anyway, so why am I saying like this? Because now in the naimitic lila of Krishna, especially when he was in Dwarka, we know that there he was crying and calling like Radha or Lalite or Radhe, Lalite or Vishake or like gopis, like that. And the queens would complain like, who is Krishna calling? Like, I heard last night, like this. Sometimes he said like, not just nighttime, even in the daytime, sometimes he would call like this. And he would be crying. So Gurudev explained, that Krishna crying for Radharani in Dwarka, that is not Dwarkadish. Understand? But there's all this lila, this Krishna and his Dwarkadish, enjoying with the queens. It said he's like a henpecked husband of the queens. That's Dwarkadish, enjoying as like husband of the queens. But that Krishna who is actually crying for Radharani, that is not Dwarkadish. So Gurudev is saying that there's Vrajendra Nandan Krishna, and he's that Krishna that's always in Braj. He never leaves Braj. But in the naimitic lila, that Vrajendra Nandan Krishna has two other aspects. There's the Viyogi Krishna and Samyogi Krishna. Just like we hear when Gurudev explained also about Radharani, there's Samyogini Radha and Viyogini Radha. And why we're discussing this? Because when you talk about Mahaprabhu relishing the moods of Radharani, this is the point now, that Mahaprabhu relishing all the moods of Radharani, not just Vrishabhanu Nandini Radha, but also this Viyogini and Samyogini Radha. Now, but before that, let's go to Krishna. There's the Viyogi Krishna and Samyogi Krishna. So, the Viyogi Krishna, that is Krishna separated from Radharani. Krishna outside of Braj and separated from Radharani. You understand? And some yogi Krishna, he is that Krishna who is meeting with Radha, but he's not in Braj, and he is like unsatisfied. He's not like that same Brajandan and Krishna. You understand? So, and the same in the counterpart of that, there's the Radharani, Vrishabhanu Nandini, eternally in Braj, daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. But when Krishna left Vrindavan, then there's that Radharani in Uddhav Kyari, crying like this, in separation of Krishna. So that is who? Who is that? That is the Viyogini. The V meaning in Viraha, and the one Samyogini meaning in union. So the Samyogini Radha, that is the Radharani that went to Kurukshetra and meeting with Krishna. You're following? They're actually meeting together, but Radharani not satisfied. For one, they're not in Braj. They're in Kurukshetra. And there's all this like eagerness like for meeting, but it's unsatisfied. And therefore there's this desire like, you come back with us to Braj, like this. I want that time like before, when we were meeting, like in the Yamuna or, in like this. So you understand, this Samyogini Radha, Viyogini Radha, and Samyogi Krishna and Viyogi Krishna, that is in the Naimitic Lila. Okay? It mixes with, in this Naimitic Lila. So don't get confused with when Krishna is in Dwarka. There's some aspect of, there's the Dwarkadish. That's the one that's enjoying with the queens. But that Krishna who's crying for Radharani, that is not Dwarkadish. That is, who is that? That's Viyogi Krishna. And when he was in Kurukshetra, that is Samyogi Krishna. Like this. So now, Gurudev is now making this point. When we talk of Jagannath, especially for us Gaudiyas, we see like how Mahaprabhu sees. He's an aspect of Rajendranandan and Krishna, but not Dwarkadish. So he is some, in Jagannath temple, he is Viyogi. He is Viyogi Krishna. Like that Krishna in Dwarka crying for Radharani. Like this. And during Ratha yatra, like in Kurukshetra, he is Samyogi. Samyogi. Or when Mahaprabhu is there in Puri. So now let's go back to Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu we know is Krishna. But in the mood of Radharani. Okay, so as Krishna in the mood of Radharani, in Navadvip, Mahaprabhu relishing all the moods of Rajendranandan. Vrishabhanu Nandini. You're following? In Navadvip. Gurudev explained that. But in Jagannath Puri as a sannyasi, now with Jagannath there, then he's able to relish the moods of Samyogini Radha and Viyogini Radha. So that is one speciality of Jagannath Puri. Sometimes we cannot, before I could not reconcile this, that as if like Mahaprabhu, it seems like in Puri, it's so much like higher, the Leelas, because like there's all these moods of separation. And Gurudev said like, no, the Navadvip is so much more higher, so much higher. Because there, the Mahaprabhu is actually relishing like the original mood of Radha. So like in Navadvip, when Mahaprabhu was born, actually some devotees, they even explain, from the time he was born, already he's feeling Mahabhav. Mahaprabhu is already feeling this Mahabhav as Mahaprabhu. And actually in the eternal world, in Swaitadvip, Mahaprabhu relishing all these moods of Radharani. Mahaprabhu doesn't need to come here to relish the moods of Radha, like this. But, this is the thing, if Mahaprabhu has to relish all the moods of Radharani, then he has Krishna as Mahaprabhu has to relish these moods of Viyogini and Samyogini. And that's only in the Naimitic Lila. So therefore, he has also a Naimitic Lila, now taking the sannyas form, sannyas. And now, in the mood of Radha, like separation of Krishna, he would visit, he would be in Jagannath Puri, and then he's seeing the deity. That deity is Krishna in separation of Radharani. Now they're meeting each other, like this. So this pastimes of Puri and pastimes of Mahaprabhu, so much about like separation, and all about really like relishment of prem, of this love. So when we talk about Rath Yatra, then we know it's only by Mahaprabhu and Mahaprabhu's followers that this is actually like Kurukshetra. Now they're meeting, and then why are they pulling Jagannath? Because they want to bring Jagannath back to Vrindavan, and then make him relish like, oh, you were so much happy in Vrindavan with us, and bringing them back to Vrindavan, like this. So when, as a sadhaka, for example, of course we are not like Mahaprabhu. That is Mahaprabhu relishing all these moods. Right now, as sadhaka, we are conditioned souls. We cannot even see Krishna, or he appears to us even as a deity, and still we don't even see really like this. He gives us the holy name, and how much really are we like experiencing this holy name as Krishna himself, So we know as a sadhaka, I don't know about you, but me as a sadhaka, I know like so conditioned, this material body and this mind, false ego. So having like very clear perception of Krishna seems so far away. So that's why we're doing sadhana. In the guidance of Guru, guidance of Vaishnavas, we're doing our daily sadhana. Of course, our sadhana centers on Harinam. So for us, like this experience, like Mahaprabhu experiencing, seems so far away. But Mahaprabhu is showing, he's like our teacher, he's showing to us, like, oh, this is what you have to learn. In this material world, it's like a school. In this world, we are supposed to learn what is the nature of prem. I remember today, like one definition of prem, is that no matter how much obstacle is there, this prem never broken, only increasing. Right? That's like one definition of prem. What is the verse for that? I don't know the verse, but that is one definition of prem. There's many definitions of prem. Like Rupa Goswami's definition of prem is different, but this is one simple definition of prem. Right now, you can see that where is your love? Now, all the reasons for there to break also, like your attachment to the material world, but you're never like trying to be detached. Even like Vaishnavas like telling you, chastising you, like this, or like everyone telling you, hey, that is not good. But then, the more someone maybe red cloth, and then now becoming attached. And everyone like fighting him, then the more he wants, like this. But this is not real prem, but somehow it's like perverted reflection. So, prem is towards Krishna. The other way is lust, right? Lust means, you see everything in relation to your senses. But prem, you see everything in relation to Krishna, like this. So, right now, we are supposed to learn how to love. Like, increasing more our attachment to Krishna, no matter how much difficulties and how much obstacles are there, like this. Oh, I should more love Krishna. He'll never die. But right now, no, not yet. As conditioned souls, it seems like very difficult. Just some little like trouble with either your body or some difficulties with other people, then easily you can give up something of your sadhana. Now, why I'm mentioning this? Because when we reflect about all these festivals, and especially this, like with Mahaprabhu relishing, then we can see how Mahaprabhu is showing us all these things are there to help you develop this prem, like this kind of love. We are here to learn how to love Krishna. Look at this. So this Rath Yatra festival actually is like very prominent festival explaining all these like moods of love. So, and the only way to really find out all these things is only by listening to devotees who are especially followers of Mahaprabhu, who knows all these things. And very important, like Rath Yatra, before even the beginning of Rath Yatra, then they have this festival of Gundicha. And also even before Gundicha, right now, this what they call the Anavasar. You've heard this, Anavasar? 15 days, no darshan of Jagannath. So this is not just like a rule, like you can see like, this is nicely arranged by Jagannath. Like that these things are there to help the devotee becoming, more attached or try to relish like all this separation and meeting. You understand? Now, don't think when we talk about pastimes of Krishna, don't think also don't limit these pastimes of Krishna into just his pastime of coming to this world. Like as Krishna. That is his pastime also coming as a deity. We should also appreciate that. When Krishna comes in the form of a deity, that is his pastime. And that pastime involves you. So he's very merciful. He's actually involving you already in his pastime. And it's just a matter of you now appreciating that. Like for example, Param Gurudev, he established Radha Vinod Bihari. So now, you're taking care of Radha Vinod Bihari, for example. Now you're engaged. You should see that, this is pastime of Radha Vinod Bihari. But now you don't see that because now we're conditioned. And so then you're thinking like, now my duty. I have to do arti, or I have to join arti. I wake up early, like that. But really later on, then you begin to appreciate like, this is pastime of Krishna. He has now come as Radha Vinod Bihari. And actually now you will see that, this is, I'm engaged in his pastime. I'm involved, like that. So, the same with Jagannath also. Up to now, actually he is Krishna. And just when Mahaprabhu is there, engaged in Lila with Jagannath, up to now Jagannath engaging everyone in his Lila. So now it's just a matter of appreciating that, we're so lucky we're part of Jagannath Lila, like this. And so then this whole festival becomes more meaningful. And then you begin to see actually like, how nicely Jagannath arranged his schedule of festivals. He has this calendar like this. Now, Snan Yatra, it starts with Snan Yatra, no? Snan Yatra meaning his appearance day. Right? Snan Yatra, that's the time when the Daru Brahma, all this wood manifest. And then there's the carpenter, we'll just shortcut the story. Asking only 21 days, give me time for 21 days. Don't disturb, otherwise I will not continue. But after 15 days, because they didn't hear anything, then they um, they opened the door and then they saw the carpenter was actually there. But then he said like, oh, why you disturb? Why you break the agreement? So, okay, I'm going now. But this story is for outsiders, who cannot understand the speciality of this deity of Jagannath, why he has no arms and legs and has big eyes. This is actually a very special form of Krishna related to his special form. We're telling that one form, this Jagannath related to one pastime in separation and one time related to meeting. And the original, we know original is meeting, right? Because you cannot have separation unless there's meeting. It's original. So, what is the hint? Before Snan Yatra, what is the festival? Before Snan Yatra, what festival is there? Chandan Yatra. Chandan Yatra is the last festival in the calendar of Jagannath Puri. Then after Chandan Yatra, then it begins new cycle. It begins with Snan Yatra. That is like their new year. So that's why like on appearance day, then Abhishek, and Guru Purnima, or Gaur Purnima, for example, that is like our new year. So for Jagannath Puri, their new year is that Snan Yatra, appearance day of Jagannath. But before the appearance of Jagannath, there's this whole festival, actually 42 days, Chandan Yatra. And it's like a hidden secret, like indication that this Chandan Yatra is related to one, like history for appearance of Jagannath. And how is that? Of course, we hear the story, one pastime in Braj, Krishna could not meet the gopis, and then Krishna thought of a way to be able to meet with the gopis. And with the help of Purnamasi, actually, they made announcement that one forest demigod, forest devata, Van devata, has come, giving darshan. Oh, everyone come, get blessings. Put some sandal paste, and give some nice drinks, some offerings, So then all the mothers bringing their daughters also, they're all there, and asking for blessings and putting chandan like this. Even Jatila, Kotila also coming, and Radharani, putting, so then so much chandan and on Krishna's body, and actually he's very happy because everyone touching him, all the gopis touching him. His eyes are so big because he's so happy. And he's now covered in the chandan. And you know what happened? This chandan is from wood, no? When it dries, then become like wood. His whole body now covered with this chandan, so his arms and legs disappeared. He's just covered in chandan. And now a little dry now, he's then become like wood. Only his eyes there big. So that is Jagannath, no? So that's like in the meeting, like that. And now this Viyogi Krishna, or Krishna in Dwarka, remembering this, then he also now, so much separation. Then his hands also disappeared, and we know so many stories, no? There's a story in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Rohini Mata speaking to the queens about pastimes in Braj. Krishna hearing, and then like this. Or there's the story of Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, also very deep story. Like Radharani, so much separation, like almost dying, and Krishna coming like this. And anyway, seeing all this, and even Baladev and Subhadra, seeing this, feeling the separation mood, their arms disappeared, like their body melted, and their eyes just becoming so big. So that's in the separation aspect. So this appearance of Jagannath, Snan Yatra, is celebrated. Immediately after that, what happens? No more darshan, Jagannath. 15 days. And so, and in Bhubaneswar also, and Puri and Orissa, even in other temples, And even in homes also, they're covering Jagannath. Also, their murtis of Jagannath, they're also covering on these days, because that's like Amavasya. And of course, for outsiders, then we tell like because of the Snan Yatra, the paint of Jagannath now is washed off, so he needs to be repainted like this. And so then no darshan. And there's a whole ritual actually on this time. Actually, from the Snan Yatra time, that's the time the Sabara, the Sevaks of Jagannath, from the Sabara class, they take over the services. And the rest of the time, these are all the Brahmin Sevaks, like this. So, but this time, they will be there. 7 pairs of, like seven rituals, 2 days each ritual. They will do, like painting certain parts of Jagannath's body, like this. And so 7, so that means on the 14th day is almost finished. The last one is his eyes, like that. And then on the 15th day, from Purnima, 15th day is Amavasya. So then that is now in the evening time, then first darshan. They call it, what's it called? What is Netra Utsav? Netra means eyes. Festival of the eyes. One is now Jagannath eyes can now see the devotees, and for one, and another is the devotees, their eyes now can see Jagannath. No, they're giving darshan. So during this time, big crowd, because imagine 15 days no darshan of Jagannath, and finally, after 15 days now open, and everyone like rushing to have darshan of Jagannath. So this is all like very nice festivals. Now, in that 15 days, because of no darshan, it intensifies, because of separation. Then it makes it like on the new moon, makes it like very relishable, like, it's like when you don't see your friend for a long time, then when you come back, then it's like, so much happy, like this, Like I just come back yesterday and everyone is, so happy. After a few days, like, yeah. When are you going back? When are you going? When are you leaving? Like that. So, is with Jagannath arranging like this, so it's not boring, So the devotees themselves, now he's making a part of his pastime, like this. And during Mahaprabhu Lila, for that 15 days, Mahaprabhu cannot tolerate this separation. No. So what he did, he would go to Alarnath, and have darshan of Alarnath. But then Mahaprabhu, on the 15th day, on the Amavasya, then Mahaprabhu would come, like this. And he will have darshan. But then after that, what's next? After, so this is in Pratipada. After Amavasya, this is the Pratipada, first day. What is the festival? What? Just before Rath Yatra. Rath Yatra is on the second day. Gundicha Mandir Marjan. So this is now like another lesson also. So much to learn also in Gundicha Mandir Marjan. Now giving us a time to reflect upon, like, we want to learn about this love, this prem. You want to take God, like, come like in my heart, like that. But how you can do that? First, you yourself have to prepare. You just don't want invite and then you're not going to prepare. Like this, because he may come and then, you're not ready for welcoming, or not, you don't want, you're not prepared, then why he will come? So Mahaprabhu is showing, we should prepare nicely. So how? He cleaned very nicely this Gundicha. Because this Gundicha represents Vrindavan. They will take Jagannath to Vrindavan with this chariot festival. That is like that festival to pull Jagannath to Vrindavan. So then, now this Gundicha representing Vrindavan, we have to prepare like this. So, what's the deep meaning? Then during Gundicha Mandir Marjan, it's always explained, no? That, devotees, like, our heart is like a chariot. We want Krishna to ride on our chariot. So, but first have to clean. Or you may say this body is like a temple. So temple means clean. So one is every day bathing this body, but that's not enough. Of course you have to take bath. Look, many vratas always involve bathing. If you look, Keshav Vrata, even Kartik Vrata, and many vratas, part of those vratas is like, waking up early in the morning, taking bath. So keeping body clean, like this. But that's not enough, of course. Most important is also removing all the anarthas, all the unwanted desires and impurities. So then, what did Mahaprabhu do? He cleaned the temple. But during the cleaning time, they're not only just cleaning, they're chanting, and showing like Mahaprabhu's point, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam. So there in the first verse, no? Marjan, like this. Cheto Darpanam Marjanam Bhava Mahada Vagni Nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidya Badhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Ritasvadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Param Vijayate, Param, highest, supreme victory. To what? Krishna Sankirtanam. What is this Krishna Sankirtanam? Take note, Mahaprabhu did not say Param Vijayate Shri Harinam Sankirtanam. He said Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. What does it mean? Of course, Harinam is included in this Sankirtan, but there's a special reason why he's mentioning Sankirtanam. Because when you say Sankirtan, from the root word there is kirtan, meaning kirtan is glorification. No, we explained this so many times. Kirtan means glorification. When there's a prefix san or sam, that is word for samyak, meaning complete. So when you say Sankirtan, meaning complete glorification. So there's complete glorification, and you can say it's complete glorification when the name, form, qualities, and pastimes are glorified. So not just the name. So name, form, qualities, and pastimes. Of course, it begins with the name, because you cannot actually separate these four together. You cannot separate them, but it begins with the name. Like it starts with the name, but you don't see the form. But later on, when you chant the name, the sound, then you see the form. Later on, when you say the name, you see the form, you see the qualities, you feel the qualities. And then later on, then you see the name, form, qualities, and then you enter the pastimes, like that. Then that kirtan is complete. You're entering in the pastime. But more than that, our Guru Varga and Prabhupada, he actually explained that unless Radharani is glorified, that is not complete glorification of Krishna. Understand? So that's why, like especially as Gaudiyas, always Radharani is glorified. So then, by this Sankirtan, then that is real, the best way for cleaning. So it starts with, so that's the beginning, no? Cheto Marjanam, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Darpan means what? Mirror. So the mirror of the chitta. The chitta means your consciousness, Sometimes they translate as the heart, but not the physical heart. The heart is part of the gross body, So when they say the heart, that's actually referring to like the mind, intelligence, false ego, that whole thing, the consciousness, that's the chitta. So that is like the mirror is not the person. So the chitta is also not you. But with that chitta, you can have some understanding of who you are. You understand? So that's why it's a very good analogy. With your consciousness, you can have some understanding of your swarup, of who you are. But first, the consciousness has to be clean. Otherwise, how would you know who you are? So this is like a mirror. If mirror is covered with so much dust, like this, like in my room now, I come back, so much dust. And then like, oh, how you'd see yourself, like this. And so, when it said, oh, this Krishna Sankirtanam, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, complete glorification of Krishna, especially glorifying the Brijbasis, including, of course, Radharani, then easily clean. And then now it becomes very clear, and then you can understand it yourself, like that. So that's the beginning, no? Cetodarpanam Marjanam. And that is actually compared to which level. In Bhajan Rahasya, they have this chart, no? Based on Bhaktivinoda Thakur teaching. Like there's all these levels in your bhakti. So when you say Cheto Darpana Marjanam, which one is that? Not just the first. That is from Shraddha to Anartha Nivritti. Shraddha to Anartha Nivritti. So what is that? Shraddha, after Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. That's all in that Cheto Darpana Marjanam. Then we say Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. What is meaning of Bhava Mahadavagni? This Mahadavagni, this great forest fire of Bhava, of this material existence. Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, it extinguishes. So this Krishna Sangha extinguishes that. Which level is that? That is Nishta. Because really in Nishta, now you're fixed. The material world now has no effect on you. So it's not like, oh, cut and extinguish the forest fire. That's in the stage of Nishta. And because mostly in the stage of Nishta, most anarthas are gone. So that's past already, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. That's Nishta. And really, Nishta means complete Shraddha. Nishta is actually Shraddha, but very mature now. Understand? So how this Shraddha became Nishta? By Sadhu Sangha. And with your Sadhu Sangha, it said the maturity of Sadhu Sangha is when you accept Guru and you take Diksha. And really, that's how you can tell that, oh, I have really some Sadhu Sangha. All those people who have not taken Diksha, they're sadhus, and they have to mature their faith to come to that point that, oh, they take Diksha, they accept Guru. And because only then you can do bhajan. Because only under guidance of Guru, then you can actually have very good association and you can do also your bhajan, no? So then bhajan kriya. And when you're doing bhajan kriya, then anartha is removed, like this. So that's how you develop this shraddha to nishta. The nishta become very fixed. Understand? But now you're just fixed, but not yet like tasting. Comes to which one? What's after nishta? Ruchi. So that is in the next one. What is that? Chetadapanam, Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shreya Kairava Chandrika. What is that? What does it mean? Shreya Kairava Chandrika. The moonbeam now making the lily or the lotus like a bloom. So what is that? That's like indicating ruchi. Now the ruchi in the heart now blooming like this. And from that point actually bhakti becomes very quick, because really in the stage of ruchi then greed develops, and then very soon asakti. So what's after Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam? Vidya Badu Jivanam. You'll have an experience actually of this name as the life of all transcendental knowledge. Like a bride, now like bride so attached to the husband, the very strong relation. And very soon, because after that, what is Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam? And that is now, after Asakti, Bhav. Ananda Ambuddhi Vardhanam. Now, this ocean of Ananda now overflowing. Then after that, Anambuddhi Vardhanam, Pratipadam Purna Amrita Aswadanam, tasting in every step. So that is in a higher level of bhav. But then when he said Sarva Atma Snapanam, na completely bathe the Atma, that is Prem. Sarva Atma Snapanam. So after that, then he said Param Vijayate. So that is full victory of Krishna Sankirtanam. So it begins with cleansing. So just now, we were just talking, before starting Ratha Yatra, which is actually, like that festival of bringing Krishna to Vrindavan. And really, who can relish this? Really, those who have this love, who have this prem, like Mahaprabhu, they can relish this. And we're hearing this to have some understanding and have some desire. I want to have that. So first, then we have to, don't just jump to the Ratha Yatra. We have to do before that. So then we do the Gundicha Mandir Marjan. Have to clean. And of course, one is cleaning the temple. And of course, we know with Sankirtan, like how they did with Mahaprabhu. But not just only in Gundicha Marjan you clean the temple. It's like every day, But especially on this day, it's like an expression. Oh, Krishna, I'll prepare everything so you can come, like this. And like a meditation for you also. Oh, may this festival of cleaning be the beginning of, or like help me to progress that every day, like more and more I'll be clean. And then I'll be qualified really to become your devotee, like that. So, and then you can really participate like in proper mood, this festival of Ratha Yatra. Now taking Krishna to Vrindavan, like this. So, no, 9 o'clock, very quick. So much more like to understand. When one is to see this festival of Ratha Yatra as Jagannath like very mercifully coming out, many, like especially for us, we cannot go inside the temple. But now, this is like Leela of, as I told you, you see this as like, Leela of Bhagavan. And now it's you're part of this Leela now. So for us, he comes out and gives you darshan, like this. So then, as much you can be involved in this Leela, then yes, you're taking advantage of that. So like, just imagine that if Krishna coming out, come out, what will you do? Like this. So sometimes that's why devotees, they go to the chariot and like embrace Jagannath, because like, why not embrace Jagannath? That's Krishna there, like that. But sometimes we hear like, Gaudiyas never go up of the temple. I mean, out of the chariot. They don't. And one, of course, reason is, if you look Mahaprabhu would not even touch the chariot. He pushed the chariot with his head even, like this. So one is by own reverence, that like even Mahaprabhu not even touching the chariot. Why I would climb the chariot and embrace, like that. Another is like more on a deeper aspect, which is actually like understanding that during Rasalila, when Krishna disappeared, and when he came back, then you can see these different types of gopis. There's this group of gopis immediately coming to Krishna and touching his arms, massaging his arms, touching his feet, like that, immediately going. But Krishna's eyes are not on them. Krishna's eyes are on those gopis that's far away, and by their sidelong glance looking at him. Who is that? Radharani and her group, like this. So this is Sanatana Goswami in his commentary, like this. So as followers of Radharani, like that, we are not like Chandravali followers. The Chandravali followers, they go into Krishna and like massaging, like that. So that's one. That sometimes they joke, you're a Chandravali follower, you're going to the chariot and embracing Jagannath, like this. But yeah, you can do like that if you like, but there's, one way to attract Krishna, and this is one speciality of what we call humility. This word humility. One speciality of humility is that this humility, it has been glorified as a way to melt the heart of Krishna. The devotee by nature is always humble. When they experience prema, natural humility comes. And by that humility, he said, that is like best way Krishna is attracted to the devotee. Like that. So like this, like if someone is actually in that feeling of, like humility, like what Mahaprabhu is saying, Trinadapi sunichena, tarorapi saisnuna, and feeling very humble and I'm unqualified, and praying to Krishna, then really Krishna like be so merciful. Look at our Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. They're in Puri. They're never fighting with these pandas and like telling them, how dare you not making us enter the temple? They're not. But we're so humble and staying only from far away, but praying and really like having this love, no? Then Jagannath himself coming to them. Who? Mahaprabhu himself is Jagannath. So every day coming to Siddha Bakul and giving association to Haridas, like this. So, but especially on this festival like Rath Yatra, Krishna himself coming out. You don't need to go inside the temple. Krishna coming out and giving darshan. So that is your opportunity to pray. Pray. And then he will appreciate so much more that instead of praying for yourself, because you can pray for yourself, help me this, help me like that, like that. Instead of praying for yourself, you are actually trying to only think of the moods of the Vrishbasis. And only like, I only want to fulfill the desire of Radharani and the Vrishbasis. They want you to go to Vrindavan. Okay, I'm helping pull, I will pull you to Vrindavan. Like this. You're not even like asking anything for yourself. Like only, you understand? And if you ask, it's only related to that. I want to have this kind of love of the Vrishbasis, like the love of Radharani and the gopis. Then definitely Jagannath will bless you. Like, I want to be made servant of Radharani, like this. Then definitely bless you. Okay, now time. Jai Shri Gurudev ki jai. Jai Shri Rath Yatra ki jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hare Vanchakalpataru Yasha Kripa Sindhu Yachapatitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnava Guna Manava.